Welcome back for another episode of Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, playing a vampire air element of I'm still doing it, guys! A vampire air elementalist of Kiku Bakudga, practicing for week 6 of the Crawl Sudden Death Challenge. When I left, we were not quite sure what to do about Nergal to get us towards Lair, and I had a little time to think about it. And I think the answer is to just back off, run away, and come at this Lair entrance from the south instead of the north. So, you know, that's... I assume you guys watched the last episode, right? Otherwise, like, who in their right mind joins, like, starts at part 4 or whatever this is of, I think this is part 3 of this run, part 4 of the playlist, probably? You know, if you are, welcome. Hello, this is Dungeon Crawl. I hope you are enjoying it. But I figure most people here did, in fact, watch the previous episode. So I said I was leaving... Yeah, it's the Deep Elf Fighter. Okay. Because somebody in my clan, in the little group, team, if you like, for the .17 release tournament, needed some help. Had gotten into a dangerous situation. And so I have a few things to say about that. One is that, like, I would like to have some idea how to edit videos so that I don't have to leave stuff like that in. Like, I think it's kind of interesting, that... yeah, I don't like this very much. So I'm going to ask for some corpses, back off, and rot them. Wow. Zap him? I don't like this at all. Okay, fly away, I guess. Let's tank it for one more turn, just so he gets more poisoned. And he's missing. I have a lot of evasion as a bat. Now he's slow. Yeah, this ought to kill him. So it's like... There he goes. I would like to be able to edit that out. I'd also like to be able to leave it in. But it would be kind of cool if I could say, like, oh, I have to take a break from recording, but not tell you guys about it. Just sort of cut the video and glue it back together. And I assume that that's not very hard. Like, a lot of people figure out how to do it. And if I were really interested, I could figure out in probably not even too long. But, as I said in some previous video, for now, I'm content to put out... just sort of the raw footage. Like, I'm sure there's plenty of stuff that it would be good for me to edit out, but I'm not. And so you can sort of see, like, what my crawl environment is like. I heard a shout, which I assume means that Nergal heard me kill this stupid bat. So she's probably coming to, like, right here. Which I think means that I am going to turn into a bat and fly this way. Yep, I was right. There she is. However, the door into Lair is open. And we are taking it. Let's just annotate that level. Yep. Nergal on stairs. Cool. So we made it into Lair, and that's what I wanted to do. Get away from Dungeon 11. But it's also, like, interesting, because it gave me a chance to talk about going to help another player. That's something that I have fun doing. Is now that I'm not the best player in the world or anything, but I'm pretty reasonable. I think I can make it to Lair on pretty much any character I want. Not 100% of the time, but pretty often. I win most of the time. Not even most of the time. But fairly often again. And so, when I'm hanging out in IRC and, somebody... I'm a bat? Who knew? I forgot. Somebody wants help, you can go... Because they're playing online, I can just go look at their game and, like, let's say this is my game. What would I do? And that's something that I've talked about as a useful skill just for picking up your own characters or for picking up combo robin characters is being able to look at a new situation and say, like, and quickly get up to speed on the tactical scenario. I don't have a way to deal with spiny frogs. Aside from the what I mentioned before, the pissing contest with static discharge, which is not what I want to be relying on here. I suppose I could use my sling, and that might be all right. But so, you know, being able to quickly come up to speed with a new character. Like, you know, my team member was in a bad spot fighting Asterion in the middle of Spider, and I had to, like, go look at his character, figure out what's the tactical situation, look at his character dump and say, okay, I'm a merfolk, I'm worshipping Fedhas, I have a pole arm, you know, what consumables do I have? And being able to quickly come up to speed with that kind of stuff in a minute or two and find a reasonable solution to the problem at hand is a skill that is maybe not hard to come by, but it's not totally trivial, and I think it's a lot of fun to exercise that, to be able to, because something that's, you know, crawl and roguelikes in general, the reason you play them is that every game is different. You're always experiencing new tactical situations. God, what do I do about poison resistant stuff? Jeez. Also, I guess I never wore these stupid boots, so let's do that. You're always seeing new tactical situations because the content is generated automatically by the computer. It's not like what's a classic linear game? I don't know, Final Fantasy VII or something. You know, there's some randomness in what enemies appear when you're walking around in the middle of outside or whatever. But, you know, Cloud always has those swords, and you always find Barret at whatever location inside of the city. Is it Midgar? Is that the one with Midgar? I think it is. Anyway. And so you can sort of, like, just say, I know how to play that game. Because you've done it before. Whereas in Crawl, there's always, like, new things coming up that, yes, I've seen Black Mambas, of course, a million times. And a lone Black Mamba I know how to deal with on most characters, but it's been a while since you know, this guy, what am I supposed to do about a Black Mamba? I don't know. It's the same problem as the Spiny Frog. I'm not even allowed to melee him, like, that would be my normal answer. You know, confusion and magic darts. I don't have enough what's the word that I'm thinking of? Evocations. I could try Corpse Rot, but I'm not sure how that interacts with poison resistant monsters, and I think that this guy is so fast that he could actually catch me even as a bat. Let me just double check. Black Mamba. Speed 18. Yeah, that's really fast. Spriggans are like speed 16 or 15. And that's how fast bats move. I don't understand how to read these speed things. Anyway, okay, so that's just, like, really fast. But if I go back the other way, I'm going to run into that stupid ghost, right? And that's no good either. And I'm going to have to figure out how to deal with these poison-resistant guys. And I guess the answer is necromancy somehow, right? Like, I could learn vampiric draining. I can cast static discharge, which probably does more damage than vampiric draining, although given our spell draining, it might not. Oh, he woke up. You overheard me memorizing? Is that really what happened? What spell? Where do I want to put that? I guess I'll put it on V. I don't like this. Especially because our MP counts as HP, like casting a spell that damages the enemy to heal us a little bit is costing us MP, so like the heal is less interesting. We have reasonable defensive stats, but they're not great. Like 10 AC is okay. I'd like to have 20 for Lair, but that's on somebody who's tabbing a lot, which we're not. I feel a little bit like I'm overblowing the importance of a Black Mamba, like one threat in Lair. And I dove into Lair knowing we're going to run into Black Mambas and Spiny Frogs, but I guess I thought I would have Bolt of Draining online by now, and I just don't. Yeah, even if it didn't take Conjurations, it wouldn't really be online yet. Because then it would be a level 5 Necromancy only, which is like Dispel Undead, and I can't really cast that either. If I had memorized Animate Skeleton, I could request corpses and then animate them, but that's like super slow. I can just teleport, but it's not going to get a lot better. Confuse? It's pretty good against snakes. They have very bad magic resistance. But any second now, this wand is going to run out of charges. And then where will we be, huh? So I think what I'm going to do is just back off. Maybe he hasn't seen me yet. He hasn't. Okay, that buys me a turn or two. Switch to a sling. Okay. Good. How long does it take to memorize Animate Skeleton? Not very long, right? It's like one turn because it's a level 1 spell. Yeah, it took like 2 turns. So I can actually ask for corpses and then animate them now. And let's put that spell on K. Yeah, so like a giant frog skeleton is a pretty big deal for him, I think, to deal with this Black Mamba. And I can cast like Vampiric Draining on him as well as soon as I've taken a little damage so that it's not wasted. Yeah, that's actually going fine. Cool. So those are some spells that I was undervaluing in my book, right? And then I got to a threat where I needed them, and it was like, oh, I'm not prepared at all. I should have been prepared for this because I knew this is what was coming in Lair, right? But I wasn't. And so this is, I think, again, like what I was saying about... I don't think we need... I guess we'd use a little more spell casting if we're going to be casting Vampiric Draining like that. What I was saying about luck versus skill. Could I just not be poisoned, please? Thank you. And like recognizing this opportunity to use these spells. All right, so that was him. I recognized it too late. You know, it would have been better if I had seen it earlier, but I got there in time to take out the Black Mamba, and that's not luck. Like, I got those spells from Kiku, and they're not the ones I wanted, but you got to use every tool at your disposal because the dungeon is really stacked against you, and recognizing when you have any use for a spell or a Kiku ability like Corpse Delivery is super important. So let's deliver corpses again, please. I got one corpse. Here it is. I am standing on it. Fine. So let's rot it. And then, like, static discharge, maybe? Yeah, bounce back and forth between the yaks. So I assume he's not going to stand in the miasma, right? Yeah, okay. But that softened them up enough that I could use this spell. Shoot, maybe I should have had a little bit less of that blood, because now I'm no longer thirsty, which means I'm more vulnerable to poison threats, which there are plenty of in Lair. Still more yaks. .mp3. Kind of irritated I can't really get to him. He's not waking up, though. There he goes. Let's back off here. Oh, there's still a yak corpse there. Shoot, I should have used that. Maybe I can use it on this other threat? No. All right, well, let's get back into this corridor. Okay, and now we can static discharge, perhaps, and use the corpses of these guys once they're dead to threaten these yaks. Yeah. So I think there's now a corpse here, although it's sort of hard to tell. And we can poison stuff with our needle. And then when I don't know why this yak, like, I keep missing him, but yeah, now he's in miasma. Good. Okay. All right, if you guys would come here, please, into the miasma, I would really appreciate that. But it looks like they're not going to do that. But there's another corpse there. So, yeah, now... So there's something to be said for not needling those guys, because they probably would have enough health that they would choose to step into the miasma. Monsters, like, sort of try to estimate whether they'll be okay stepping into a cloud, and they don't really think about how long they're going to be in the cloud. They're just like, yeah, I can stand one turn in some miasma, it won't be a big deal. Yeah, he dropped a corpse too, so if I can get up to 3 magic points, I can just rot this guy. Cool. Well, that was interesting. What was I even, was I saying something? That fight just, I don't know, it kind of took my attention, even though I was just doing the same thing over and over. So now I think I would, yeah, not necessarily. I was thinking I might want to, wow, Hydra, goodness. I was thinking I would like to find out whether these guys are susceptible to miasma, but I'm just going to make a Hydra and murder things. Oh, I should be making skeletons of my enemies now, too. Actually, we can just use a hunting sling here. It's fine. Yeah, like, a Hydra skeleton is really strong. Yeah, they're killing stuff, like, I don't know, elsewhere. I'm just getting experience without seeing any monsters, so that's cool. And so, like, he's gone already. Skeletons, derpa? Skeletons and zombies decay over time. Well, they don't decay so much as they just vanish if they are around for too long. And I assume I'm nowhere near being able to use, like, any good spells. Yeah. I would like to use Bolt of Draining, just because I have a better aptitude for that than Air by a little. But it's also just a better spell if I'm going to have undead minions around. I wish Kiku had given me Animate Dead, because that's... But I got Death Channel. Like, I can't complain. I love Death Channel. And it's just going to take us longer to get it online, is the thing. But once you have Death Channel online, you can really snowball quite hard when you start on a floor. You just use, like, even if you can't reliably deal a bunch of damage to monsters, if you can sort of, on occasion, deal a bunch of damage, then what am I even doing? How am I trying to dance this guy? I don't know. It's not really working. Then you can just kill 1 or 2 enemies with your, you know, high magic spells or whatever. I got a corpse. It's a spiny frog. Well, do I want to skeletonize that or rot it? And why am I only getting 1? Does it vary with piety or something? Because I remember in the past I've gotten like 4 or 5. Maybe even as many as 8. It probably varies with piety. Or with necromancy? Like 5 yaks. What am I supposed to do? 1 spiny frog skeleton and 1 porcupine skeleton are not going to be enough. I can use corpse rot and like basically kill 1 of them and then maybe animate the others or rot them. So I think I'm going to try to get this yak to attack me. And then back off and rot. Yeah, he's taking a ton of damage already. And I can't just stand here forever, but I do want to stand there for a little while. Long enough for, yes, there he goes, he's dead. But he did not leave a corpse. So, regrettably, I think I just have to run away. I didn't waste, I spent some piety and some needles. I'll get the needles back, which is fine. It feels bad to use up a needle on a threat that doesn't then die because they just heal back up and the needle didn't do anything, basically. Okay, I don't really want to go back through there and deal with the eels. Let's try this amulet on. There's another eel, but just 1 or 2 of these needles ought to do wonders. There he goes. Komodo dragon. Okay. Komodo dragons hit very hard. And I don't really want to stand in melee with him. Hydra! Let's just fly away quietly. I was never here. You never saw me. So this bought us some time, I guess, to needle him some more. This is, it's slow going. And the needle is losing its impact here. Although he seems to be getting poisoned pretty bad at the moment. Could we kill death yaks with needles? Maybe 1 or 2, but I wouldn't want to do this to a lot of death yaks. Let's mark that Hydra as excluded because we really don't have anything to deal with a Hydra, I don't think, right? No. I mean, corpse rot, again, is like... Hydras are poison resistant, though, and I still don't know... Like, tell me about this spell, right? Any creature eats away at the life force. Like, is this the same as poison? It's not really clear. I don't know. It poisons them. Does it respect poison resistance, or is it somehow different? Because it says life force and not poison. I don't know. Give me this helmet, please. Nice. 12 armor. I'm feeling good. Feeling great. Our needles are going to start to run out, I think, at some point in Lair, because I'm using them for everything. I got a hippogriff and a rat. I should have actually tried to rot that rat to see how a poison-resistant enemy copes with miasma in a controlled scenario where I didn't have to risk dying like I would if I wanted to find out what the deal is with, say, hydras. Where is the electric eel? Die. Back off. These sheep, man, they are vicious. Look at them tearing through my skeletons. Don't want to die to sheep. Very embarrassing. But I don't think we will be, so it's fine. How's this electric eel doing? Severely wounded. Oh, of course I can't zap him because he's an eel, an electric eel. Fine. And there he goes. So let's lead our little ragtag band of skeletons, I guess. It's not really an army. It's at best like a well-regulated militia. Ha ha ha. Right? That's like the phrase from the Bill of Rights, isn't it? The Second Amendment? The suitable, something about the well-regulated militia. I don't know. Maybe I'm totally wrong. But maybe I'm not. Conspiracy theories abound. Oh gosh, this is only Lair 2, huh? A blink frog appears from thin air. Well, please don't wake up the Hydra if you would be so kind. It looks like he's not going to, so that's nice. And I think all these skeletons ought to do an okay job against this. Yeah, just one blink frog's not a huge deal. Spell casting, huh? I think 6.6 is, I don't know, I would have rather stopped at 6.5, but it's fine. And let's focus necromancy. I would still like to get Bolt of Draining online, and it's getting there. Just some more necromancy and conjurations and we'll be able to cast it. I won't do a ton of damage when we do cast it, because it'll be pretty low spell power, I think. Right? Yeah. But, you know, it'll be another way to deal with threats. That's what we need, is another tool in our toolbox. Let's go upstairs. I don't like this situation with all these frogs and the eel, but I want the eel to die before I go. He should get poisoned to death relatively soon, right? There he goes. And I don't think I should be greedy and try to like stair dance 2 of these or get another zap in. I'm just gonna go upstairs now. And the other blink frog, the blink frog blinked away, which, you know, it's not what I wanted to happen, but it's fine. Well, let's read some scrolls. Fine, found teleportation, found random uselessness, which gave me some butterflies. Hello, butterflies. They don't even show up on the map or on Control X. How weird. And I guess I can identify a potion. Cure mutation. Fine. There's this ghost again. I was going to use this staircase. Whoops. Oops. I accidentally asked for corpses here when I do not really need them, but I guess I'll bottle them up. Sorry to bother you, Kiku. Are there 2 ghosts on this floor? Glass's ghost and Derpy's ghost. Interesting. Well, I don't want to be here. Yikes. Let's just annotate it with a warning, just to be safe. And gosh, I am worried that I might have to make Lair like 3 videos. Obviously I can do whatever I want, right? I can make a video 2 hours long or something, but it's nice to give you an excuse to get up and take a break or whatever. Oh, and this is metal walls, so it doesn't even reflect lightning. What a bummer. Well, let's just static discharge then. Yeah, it works fine. Okay, it looks like we managed to isolate 1 blink frog. But my skeleton is now chasing him down and will probably wake up the other one, which I don't really appreciate. Oh, hello, blink frog. Nice to meet you. I forgot, plants count as enemies too. And I'm never sure whether that's like good or bad for static discharges, that it can hit plants. Like sometimes it's great because you can maybe get an extra bounce off of a plant and onto an enemy or something, but sometimes it just like hits the plant instead of an enemy, and then it's like, that's not so great. Okay, it looks like we're actually doing kind of okay damage with static discharge. And it's helping us out with these threats. So I'm thinking I'm going to cool it on the necromancy and pick up conjurations, which will help with both of our goals, getting Bolt of Draining online and improving static discharge for situations like that. And I don't think I can give dodging or fighting a break yet. We still want to be survivable. Actually, fighting, vampires have a bad aptitude for it, and their HP isn't that good. And I'm not doing melee damage, so it's not doing a lot of what it usually does. So I think I can back off on that. Is there anything I want to put the points into instead, or just get more of what I'm getting? I could get some stealth or some evocations, maybe. Stealth seems to be fine. We're getting away from the threats that we don't want to fight well enough. So that's a mistake, I would say, that newer players tend to make, and I still make it myself sometimes too, is that thinking that stealth is for getting stabs on enemies. And of course that's great if you are a stabbing character. Then stealth is like one of your damage skills. But most characters aren't doing that. And you have to be like quite committed to stealth to get stabs. Like you need to put in a ton of points to get stabs for a long time. So for most characters, that's not the thing to do. But if you are tactically aware that you should be running away from enemies ever, then stealth is really good. Like, you just want to get it for the ability to run away. Okay, what is this? I got an iguana and a water moccasin. Let's animate this one, move back here, rot this one, and see if he cares. He did get slowed. So that's interesting news. Wow, get wrecked. I don't even know if I needed the miasma, really. But anyway, like, I mean, you don't want to overinvest in stealth. You want just enough to be able to get away from fights you don't want to be in. Because that's really what stealth is for on most characters, is avoiding unfavorable fights. And so I have enough now that I feel like that's happening. The fights I don't want to be in, I'm not in. And so I don't feel like I need more stealth. But in the future, like if I start getting stuck in fights that I don't want to be in, I can put some more points in. Ow. Okay, just please kill all this, if you would be so kind. Good job, skeletons. So I sort of forgot skeletons are any good at all, I guess is the lesson to be learned from this game. I remember zombies are really good, because usually I just get animate dead and make zombies out of stuff. But animate skeleton is fine. Like, these skeletons are doing the business. Like, given the business? I don't know exactly what it is you do with the business, but it is happening idiomatically. And, you know, I still wish I... Ooh, this is a lot of stuff. Let's grab some more dudes. Probably skeletons are better than rot here. I do have a Hydra skeleton, so maybe I didn't need anything else, because Hydras are just OP. But it's fine. I got all these blink frogs. I can blink, right? That's a thing I can do. All right, it's good to keep that in mind. But I'm not going to here. Nice. I'm going to just drink this blink frog, which I think still leaves a skeleton, right? How do I get a list of like what is here without picking any of it up? I guess there's nothing else here because it would say... So really, drinking something doesn't leave a skeleton. I thought it used to. Interesting. I guess it just sometimes does, because that's what happens like when you butcher. Sometimes it leaves a skeleton. Fair enough. Where was I going before we started talking about that? Skeletons. They're pretty alright. And it's a level 1 spell that scales, you know, not as far into the late game as it used to. Because skeletons and zombies actually used to be permanent. They just like couldn't follow you from floor to floor, but on the floor that you were on, they would just last until they were destroyed. And that just made like the entry-level necromancy spells too strong. So I believe that's why it was changed. It also made Euredalemnul's special abilities not quite so interesting because any necromancer could do it. Now Euredalemnul zombies are the only ones who stick around forever. Which is cool. I wish this iguana skeleton would sort of get to work. Or die so that I could comfortably use that spell, Static Discharge. But right now, like if I use it, there's a pretty good chance that it would hit one of my skeleton, and I don't really want to do that because it would make him mad. And it looks like the fight over there may be over. I don't have enough magic. Yeah, fancy that. Okay. This is metal, metal, metal. Fine. Okay. See you later, yaks. Oof. Rest up here. Oh, Lair 2, the like 10-hour journey. Boy. I hope you guys are enjoying. Oh, wow. Oof, that's pretty good. I hope you guys are enjoying this because it's going to keep going on for a while. This game, man. I'm glad. So this week, We get normally 2 weeks to finish each sudden death week. There's one announced every week, but you get 2 weeks to finish it, so you can sort of like delay for a week if you're busy, and then play like 2 weeks worth of games in 1 week. Whatever, stuff like that. Let's get some skeletons, please. A river rat skeleton, really. Well, all right. Here's my chance to see. I guess I already saw that it does something, right? But I don't know how effective it is. It's pretty good. Wow. Even poison-resistant stuff gets absolutely destroyed. So anyway, you normally get 2 weeks for each CSDC character / week. Week in quotes here, I guess, because it's 2 weeks long. But a new combo is announced every week. This week, however, we get 3 weeks to do the character because the organizer wanted to make sure that anybody who wants to can comfortably play in the 0.17 release tournament as well, which is pretty cool. I'm not that keen on the release tournament. I'm sort of playing in it just for funsies. I'm not really trying for much of a high score at all. But I'm just playing basically like I normally would, but then saying, hey, I got tournament points for it. Hooray! And, the sense of camaraderie of, having a clan is fun. It's, the only thing I was looking forward to about the tournament is, like, chatting with people who are working towards the same goal, giving advice, and, when inevitably Gressup gets himself into a bad situation, he asks for help, or I say, geez, guys, could somebody keep... I remember I said, like, there was a very sad game, where I was almost the first Formicid to win, and almost the first Artificer to win, but I ended up being neither of those things. A, because somebody won each of them before me, and B, because I didn't win. So, almost maybe stretching the bounds there, but, I made it. This was my very first time dying after getting the Orb of Zot. It was very sad. Just a Panlord absolutely destroyed me on the way out. Anyway, so I was, before I picked up the orb, I was like, hey, could somebody keep an eye on me? I just want to make sure I don't do something really dumb in Zot. And, I think that it's fair to say that I'm, like, the strongest player in the clan. But I certainly don't play the most by any means. Like, the other guys play a lot. So I probably will not outscore them, which is fine. We're on the same team. Like, I don't mind at all. It's great that they're playing a lot of games. So I don't know. Why was I even saying that? Why was I saying how good we are compared to each other? It doesn't really matter. I must have had something in mind, but I don't remember now what it was. Just something about, like, having somebody to just sort of keep an eye on you and remind you if you're doing something that looks stupid. It's nice, and we all want to make sure the team win rate goes up. So, I welcomed the opportunity to take a pause from my recording, a little while ago, as you guys saw. Yeah, let's get some corpses here, I guess. I hope this isn't, like, taking too much piety, but, piety is cheap, sort of. I mean, really, it's not super cheap. And I do want to get more of it, but it's fine. So, yeah, this is working fine. And I'll just bottle this porcupine corpse, animate the black mamba and the basilisk. Nice. And the crocodile. Oh my gosh, we got like a little battalion here, or a regiment or something. Some smallish army. There's like fire bats in here, right? A fire elemental. Yowza. Well, the only time we're ever going to have a shot against a fire elemental is when we have like an army. This is the closest. Oh, it's mindless. It's too dumb to go around the corner. All right, everybody kill. Is it like... It's resistant to electricity and immune to negative energy and poison. So basically the only thing we can do to this is sling bullets if we wanted to fight it ourselves, or we could ask for corpses and animate some more skeletons. But I sort of suspect that if this number of skeletons doesn't do it, then we just won't be able to kill it at all. So I'm just going to back off here and see how it goes. And I think I will ask for some more corpses to deal with this spiny frog. Wow! They just ruined, like that turn, he was lightly damaged, and then they killed him in one turn. Good work, guys. Oh, there's more skeletons here. This is great. Or more corpses, which are now skeletons. Cool. Wasn't there like some kind of wand on the floor? Did I just not pick it up? Oh, I had to run away. Okay. Fine. An elephant. That's a big monster. But with poison and skeletons, we can do anything. Nothing is out of reach. I hope. There's a lot of elephants, though. Geez. Do I want more corpses? I worry that I am abusing Kiku's good graces. But you know what? Like, there's no bonus points for reaching. Actually, like, what is there left for Kiku to give me? I guess at 4 stars, you get the ability to invoke Torment, which is pretty cool if you're a bloodless vampire, especially. But, you know, at 5 stars, I don't think you get anything that I need, and same at 6 stars. So we basically already have everything Kiku's going to be giving us for this game, practically. Which means that we should use our piety whenever it's going to help. And you should always do that. But judging, like, when it's going to help enough that it's, quote, worth it, is a little bit hard sometimes. And so, I don't know, I just talked myself into using it, which is sometimes, you know, you don't really know what's best for yourself, and you got to give yourself a good talking to. These wolves, for example, are, like, not the best thing in the world for me. So I'm going to bat form out of here, I think. Yeah, my skeletons are not really organized enough to deal with all this, I think. They're just going to gradually fall apart. I need to find a better engagement. And so this is why, like, vampires make good enchanters, is they can run away. Really? Can you outrun a bat? I didn't know wolves were so fast. I thought they were just as fast as hounds. But they can, just barely, they can outrun bats. Wow. I'm pretty sure snakes can. Or maybe they can't. He started out pretty close to me, I guess. Look, he's kind of keeping up, isn't he? I don't know. All right, we pulled one upstairs. That'll do. Thought that would do more damage. I'm gonna receive a corpse here. Wow, that's a lot of corpses. Animate it, I guess. I was gonna make it rot, but since we got quite a few good corpses, yeah, I'm just gonna make them all into zombie or skeletons, I guess. And maybe it's foolish, but I'm gonna see how this Hydra does. Oh, of course. The skeletons are charging towards him, so he's not going to be lured back onto the miasma that I was hoping to set up. Oh well, we'll see how the skeletons do, and if they do badly, we can just leave. What, is there a yak corpse here? No. Oh, there's one here though. Yeah, they are not being effective at all. Oh, there's Curari on the... Whoops! Yeah, don't walk towards him, you idiot. The good news is he seems to be, like, chasing me. And so my skeletons are getting a crack at him? Sort of? Right? Like, come on. Over here, buddy. Yeah. He's kind of dumb, isn't he? We can just lure him around these corners, and then our skeletons will attack. Looks like the skeletons have since bitten the dust, practically. There's just this one left. There goes the crocodile. What happened, I ask you, to the Hydra? Did he get lost? He did. And he's healed up, so I'm just going to let him be. Now he knows where I am. I'm going to try slinging him a bit, and then... Oh, he's down there. What are you doing over there? And then make rot. Which I think should basically make short work of him. How? I'm going to be a bat now. I can't. Alright, this wasn't the best plan that I've ever had in my life. I just really got overeager and wanted to kill a Hydra. How are we for stuff? I'm going to drink this emerald potion. It's probably curing, and that's enough. It was curing. It wasn't enough. Ouch. Rip. Huh. Hydras, man. You can definitely underestimate Hydras. How many attacks did he get before I died there? Let's see. You guys can't see the log. I'm opening it up here. Oh, oops, wrong log. Log. So how many of those attacks did he actually make? Like, was he going to attack us again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he had even one attack left. I mean, he was slowed. He could have missed a turn. I don't know. It was dumb, though. I should have just run away and hoped he got poisoned to death. But I wanted him to stand in the miasma one more turn, you know? Should have just run away first. Looks like that's a pretty cool robe. Not that great, though. I think I would have liked the leather better still. Well, so I messed that up. But it kind of looks like I can... And of course I did have heal wounds, but I couldn't have guessed which one it was, really. And I picked curing, which is the one I was aiming for. So, I just shouldn't have been so cavalier about the Hydra, really. But I think that I've learned that going Kiku is perfectly okay. I got not the spells I really wanted, and I was able to make use of them, and I had a plan for the future game, which was basically Death Channel and Bolt of Draining. So I think I'm going to try to go Kiku for the real game, and I think I may as well try the real game now. I'm not gonna suffer through another really slow early game just to get a little more practice with this. I feel like I know what I'm doing. So that's going to be the end of this practice series, and I won't have to forcibly retire him at the at the end because I did actually die. So if I'm at all clever, I'll include a link to the actual series as an annotation, here. on the death screen. There's plenty of room. So go ahead and click that if you want to move on, or just go watch some other video. I'm sure, you know, that there are more practice runs or whatever to watch. Anyway, so that was this whole run. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next.